All right, well, our next guest is the man Wall Street turns to when they want the very latest on rents in cities across the country to see, well, if properties are worth betting on. Joining us now, Walter Charnoff. He is founder and CEO of RentRange, which has seen revenue jump, by the way, by 1,900% in just the past 2 years. Reason to smile, Wally, and thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Okay, so let's get right to this. What exactly does your company do, and how did you come up with the idea?
Yeah. Well, we provide rental market and rental property analytics. So we can evaluate what's going on in the market from a rental perspective. How strong is that market? What will rents be? What will vacancy rates be? Is a good area to buy a piece of rental property? And then we can also evaluate individual properties and say, what will the rent be for that individual property? What's the vacancy rate going to be? How's that property going to perform? Is it a stable market? Are the rents versus income suitable for the area? Just a lot of information to determine if it's a good property within a good market to purchase. And we came up with the idea because really for the last, a long time, more than 10% of the housing stock, single-family housing stock in this country has been single-family rentals. So it's garnered a lot of attention from Wall Street and institutional investors over the last few years, but it's really been a big part of our market for a long time.
And those are your customers, the institutional folks, and what do they pay? I mean, what kind of money do you make on that information?
Our clients pay anywhere between $6 for a single zip code or $12 for an initial address to $50,000 for 5 years worth of historical data and a 1 year move forward, and hundreds of thousands of dollars towards addresses at a much lower per address price.
It's amazing. Do you have a lot of competition in this marketplace?
We really don't have any competition that can do what we do like we do it. We've been doing it for the longest. We have the largest and most well-scrubbed single-family rental database. So we're the only ones that I know of with enough rental data, single-family rental data, to be able to run the analytics that we can run. And we also have the most experience. So we've been doing this for a little over 6 years. So before Wall Street and the media was paying attention to that market, we learned how to get it right in that market. So I haven't seen anybody really come up on our heels yet.
It's interesting, and then I was looking through your notes. You also factor in whether tenants have dogs or are smokers, so you really get down to the nitty-gritty, don't you?
Yeah, well, actually what we do is we get to a normal or par rent, taking the rent in our database and normalizing out credit risk and pets and smokers and different premiums or discounts that have been applied to the rents in our database to be able to tell our clients what a par rent would be for a market or for a property.
So what trends have you seen, Wally, as we do this day special, a day-long special on real estate? What trends are you seeing from your perspective?
Well, a lot of good movement into the market. Obviously, it's gotten a lot of velocity lately with the institutional investors moving in and starting to buy a substantial amount of homes. One of the really positive trends we've seen is there are a lot of displaced and distressed homeowners who'd like to stay in their neighborhoods and keep their kids in the school systems that they're currently in. And the institutional investors are providing good housing inventory for them to rent and stay in suburbia instead of moving back into multifamily dwellings. We're also starting to see a really big deviance between multifamily behavior and single-family behavior. So there's actually markets where there's an inverse relationship between single-family homes and multifamily homes to say that one's rents will be going up, whereas the other market's rents will be going down.
You say investors have a positive effect on home prices, but aren't they trying to get, everything they can at rock bottom prices?
They don't really have to because, they're looking at cash flow markets where the rents can give them a positive cash flow even if they're paying close to par for the properties. So most of the times when they're looking for discounts, it's because there's going to be a capital expense to get that property rehabbed and back ready into good condition for a tenant to rent it. So in plenty of markets across the country, you can provide good quality rental property without having to get a deep discount on the purchase price.
Very good. Fascinating stuff. Thank you so much. Walter Charnoff with RentRange. Very interesting indeed, and thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's good info to have.
It's a market for everything.
I'll tell you.
Yep.
All right, well, still to come, I love